The Kruger National Park is a popular tourist destination. Some information above the park is given below. The speed limit inside the park is 50 kilometers per hour on tarred roads, 40 kilometers per hour on gravel or dirt roads. The gate times: entrance gates open at 5:30 in the morning. Campus gates open at 4:30 in the morning. All gates close at 6:30 or 18:30, that would be in the evening. Annex D shows a part of the map of the Kruger National Park, and Table 4 shows the distances between the camps and the gates. So if you notice below, there is a table showing you the distances between the various gates as indicated in Annexure D. And you read it in terms of, for example, you look at Berg en Dal, which is the first one, and let's look at the second one going down, which is the Lower Sabi. This means between these two places it's 113, right? That's basically the distance between the two of those camps or gates. Use the information above and Annexure D to answer the questions that follow. Remember, Annexure D is the table of distances. Give two possible reasons why there are specific times for the gates to open and close. There are numerous answers that you could say, but mainly gates close for security reasons. Also, these gates close before it gets too dark, because obviously visibility and protecting both the animals and the people. Also, gates close because of overcrowding, access control, because you can't just let anybody come in and out after certain times, as indicated with most places. And also, the main thing is that our staff that works on the camps and the various places need to go home. Ludwig enters the park through the gate located northwest of Crocodile Bridge, which has no camp. He travels in an easterly direction until he finally reaches the first camp. Write down Ludwig's final destination. The first thing we need to do is locate Crocodile Bridge. Now, in so doing, we need to use that as our point of reference because of the wording that the question states. It says that the gate located northwest of Crocodile Bridge. This means our point of reference is Crocodile Bridge. So I've indicated the Crocodile Bridge with a red rectangle. Now, using this as our point of reference, I go to right at the top where it shows the direction of north. Now that's very important, right? We need to know which direction north faces. So make sure you are conscious of this, because sometimes north is not necessary in that direction. They may change it just to see whether you understand the various directions and how it works. So north is facing this direction here, facing upwards. And so I'm going to apply the same principle standing or in terms of Crocodile Bridge. So if I use the north, south, west and east, I'll notice that north west is towards the blue line, which I've indicated and drawn. And one of the things they've mentioned is that place that he is used, the gate, it has no camp, and you notice there's no symbol for a camp there. Right, there's two symbols for camps. One is the main camp, one is other camps, but there is no symbol at all for any camps there. So we are basically in the right direction. Thereafter, he says he travels in an easterly direction. Now, using this place now, this Pabani, as our point of reference, we need to apply the north, south, west, east. So you see by the green line, I've moved east from Pabani. That's our point of reference. So I moved east and it brought me all the way to Skukuza. Show by calculation that the distance shown on the distance table from Open to Lower Sabi is the route via Satara. Now all they're basically saying here is that from Open to Lower Sabi there is a certain distance. For instance, let's just say it's 100. But they are saying now, if we are to use Satara, to go via Satara, so all we are just saying is from Open to Satara must be, for instance, 30, and then from Satara to Lower Sebi will be 70. 30 plus 70 will give me 100. So that's basically what the question says here in our understanding. So the first thing we need to know is what's the total distance between Auburn and Lower Sebi. Now I've indicated these places with the red rectangles, and with the green rectangle you'll see the amount between these two places, which is 141. So all we need to know is whether we reach 141 as a total. So now first we started off at Auburn. Now we need to go from Auburn to Satara. So looking at our distance table, we'll see there's Auburn with the blue there, with the blue rectangle, and we see Satara also with the blue rectangle, and we look at where they meet and you'll see it's 48. So it's 48 kilometers. So we write this down, and then we need to add from Satara now to Lower Sebi, and that we've covered the distance as indicated earlier. So let's move from Satara to Lower Sebi, and we notice that I've indicated with the red boxes, and that's 93. Now adding these two amounts up, and we see that we arrive at 141 kilometers. Determine the difference in the number of main camps and other camps on this part of the map. So basically what we need to know is symbols here, and as I've indicated, you find main camps is shown on the key there, and the other camps is shown on the key. So if we add up the main camps, now I've indicated the main camps with the red circle, and you'll find the other camps are with the bluish circle. So there are 7 main camps and there are 5 other camps. So subtracting that, I've got 2. Ludwe left Skukuzo at 1703 and had to be out of the park through the Malelani gate before 1830, the same day. The distance on the gravel road is the same as the distance on the tarred road. Calculate at what time he would reach the Malelani gate if he used the gravel road, and we've been given a formula in which we must use. So we see that Ludwe used the gravel road. So there's information about the gravel road given above. In the red rectangle, you notice it says 40 kilometers per hour on the gravel road. So this is the speed at which Ludwe would have traveled. So how do we get the distance? Now the distance would be as indicated in the story. He left Skukuzo and he arrived at the Malelani gate. So these are the two places we need to find the distance. So looking at our distance table, and if you see I've indicated at the bottom there with the red boxes, and you find it's 64 kilometers. Now that we know our speed, we also know our distance, and we are asked to calculate the time. So all we need to do is substitute into the formula. Substituting into the formula, we arrive at 1,6 hours. Right, now remember the time is 1,6 hours. How did we arrive at 1 hour and 36 minutes? So all we need to do is we separate the 1,6 as 1 and 0,6, and as you see in the side there, I've pulled out the part where it says the minutes, and we got 0,6, and you multiply that by 60 because there are 60 minutes in an hour, and we get 36. And this is how we convert from hours to hours and minutes. So our final answer would be 1 hour and 36 minutes. Now we need this information because we need to determine, and it says they calculate at what time you would reach. They want to know at what time exactly you would be there instead of the amount of time. Now with the 1 hour 36 tells us the amount of time, but we want to know the exact time now. So they've given us times here. So all we need to do is we need to add the time in which he left the Skukuzo. So that's 1703. So looking at 1703, we add an hour, which would be 1803, right? And all we need to do is add the 36 minutes to the 3, and we get 1839. Give a possible reason why most people visiting the park prefer to travel on the gravel roads rather than the tarred roads. There are various answers one could speak of, but on a gravel road it's not so busy as compared to the tarred road. People drive slower, and then you have an opportunity to have a better scenic route and see the animals. Generally the animals are more visible in terms of the dirt roads as compared to the tarred roads. And some people just like the adventure, because driving on the dirt road gives you a sense of adventure, a feel of a different environment as compared to the tarred road.